What is up? Metal Gets Me High, episode 51. You got Meow, you got Razor, you got Brad.
Yo, what's going on, you guys?
Not much. It's been a
Nothing
minute.
much.
We apologize. We've been a little busy, but we're gonna get freaking back on it. We're really excited about this episode because we're gonna be talking about one of our favorite bands. I would say the three of us. We're gonna be talking about Slayer, and we're gonna tier rank their albums. But first, we just wanted to real quick touch base. We're going to be hitting Bangin' in the Rock, which is a super killer fest curated in Little Rock, Arkansas. They've just made a first announcement of bands, and it's a freaking killer lineup so far. You got Judiciary, Orthodox, Outer Heaven, who might have my album of the year so far, Combust, Mutually Assured Destruction, featuring Ace, who has a podcast, super cool guy in the Bay Area in Richmond. Mutilatred. Oh man, what a freaking band,
dude! Mutilatred's fucking hitting.
Yes, that was a name that like caught me off the bat. Sentenced to Die from Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, and they're a Maggot Stomp band. And then No Cure, who's actually going to be at a home, like pretty much hometown show for us in Modesto. Not this coming weekend, but the next weekend. So
I am so excited to see them.
Dude, they put out your album of the year last year. So
not just that, but I think Sean the Butcher saw them recently, maybe last week, and he just posted how fucking great they were. So shout out fucking No Cure.
Yeah, I'm super happy. CVHC. And then we just hit a show recently that was absolutely killer that we want to shout out before we go into the list. We saw Sanguisugabog. They're on tour with Vomit Forth, Cruelty, and Gates to Hell. Man, Ramon actually went to two different shows. He went to Fresno with me and Brad's little brother. And then Brad and Ramon hit it the next day in Berkeley. So
hell yeah, 2 days in a row. And let me tell you, both days, I thought the second day it was gonna be, I already seen this. No, it was insane. It was fucking awesome. So a band that if you see them more than once in a week, you will not get tired of them. Let me say that.
Yeah, it was our first show in Fresno, and there was it was a cool venue, a lot of people there. I think it was a good crowd. Every band was absolutely great. Vomit Forth freaking delivered. Kane, we got the chance to speak with him a little bit in person, and exceptional dude. Same with the dudes in Bog, and shout out Cruelty, man. They were the band that I walked away the most impressed with. I'm really happy they can make it all the way here from Japan, and it sounds like this tour has like been a game changer for them, and I feel like has kind of put them on the map, and I think that's fucking sick, man.
Yeah, and you know what? The response, like the pop that they got when they went on stage, and like throughout the whole set was insane. I'm so glad to see like people from around here are supporting the guys from Japan.
Yeah, freaking killer band, man. Like I loved how they had like so many different parts in the song where it's like, here's the circle pit part, here's the two-step part, here's the breakdown. It was like fun, like having these little different like chopped up parts in the song, and they all flow freaking wonderfully.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Well,
it was a sick ass show for sure.
Yeah,
Bog, man. Ooh, 60 minutes of Bog is a game changer. Let me tell you.
Also, you know what? The first day when I went with Al and your brother Brad, shout out Cody. He spent a little time with us for 15 minutes, chopped it up. He's a cool ass dude. So just shout out Cody from the Bog.
Hell yeah, the whole band, man. Good people.
Yeah, great bill, top to bottom.
Yeah,
point.
I couldn't agree more, man. And that's like one of the cool things about shows nowadays is like there's so many 4 or 5 band bills where it's like, holy crap, I don't want to miss any of these bands. Like these
Yeah.
all of these bands are gonna beat my ass, and you love to see that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like I was dragged by a truck after Bog for sure.
Oh man, well, let's get to it, man. Like
Wait,
before
before we
we
do,
start, yeah, go
did
ahead.
we talk about my bad? Did we
No,
talk
go
about the
ahead.
shows that are coming up?
Oh yeah,
Because
there's
yeah,
some
we're
cool
we're
stuff coming
hitting a
up.
couple of shows. I think maybe we talked to Brad about it, but with Tactosa. Tactosa is gonna
Oh
be
yeah, dude,
here
Killer
soon.
Tour. That one is it's the Acacia Strain, Dying Fetus as the headliner. Tactosa, Creeping Death. Um, man, I'm missing somebody. Canadian deathcore band. I can't think of their name. They have the album Purgatory. Despised Icon. There we go, dude.
Despised. Hard.
If you go to that show, I highly recommend having medical insurance because you're gonna get fucking hurt if you mosh pit go in the pit at that show.
Especially during Acacia.
Dude, we recently went to an Acacia Strain show, and I was like, I get the itch where I want to get in. I did not want to get in that pit. Like that was not the yeah. I don't want to get hit
When
like
Beast
that.
came on, bro.
I was genuinely scared. I was like, "There's no way."
And we
There's
were
no way.
like pretty close to the pit, and it was we weren't even in the pit, and it was nuts.
Yeah,
It was insane.
absolutely, man. And then we're gonna hit a show this weekend. We're gonna see Snuffed on Sight, Body Box, Corpse Pile, These Streets, and there's a few other bands if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, I don't remember them off the top of my head, but that's gonna be in Lodi. So I can't wait. I haven't seen Snuffed on Sight yet. Haven't seen Body Box. Haven't seen Corpse Pile. I'm excited for some Maggot Stomp, and then These Streets.
Yeah, you know what? Me and Brad got the pleasure of seeing Seven, which is Snuffed on Sight's singer or frontman. We saw him perform with
Vomit
Forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vomit Forth, which was insane.
It was nuts. The 30
He was
seconds
he
that
was
he was on
actually
stage.
yeah, he was in front of us for like maybe 2 songs, and
Nah,
then
more than that.
he was right by the stage, and then hopped up and performed with them, and it was dope as fuck. So
Yeah,
shout
it was
out
pretty
Seven.
quick.
I'm jealous. I didn't see that, but and then the other show, man, you're fucking crazy if you don't think on Friday that I'm going to try to get freaking Twitching Tongue tickets in the Bay Area. Like, dude, talk about a scary pit. Preacher Man in Gilman, which like we haven't been to a show in Gilman, which is like a very, very, known hardcore venue. So I'm just excited all around for that show. That's gonna be a freaking real ass beater.
Shout out Hardlore.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the tier list.
Do you think the Young Brothers are going to get Rock and Roll McDonald's afterwards?
Dude, you have to. That's the best, dude. Best McDonald's on earth in Berkeley, California. But what I want to say before we get into this tier list is like, I've always loved Slayer, and I haven't really listened. I listen to them every now and again, but it's like a couple songs. Going through the albums, like just really reinforced like how I just genuinely think they're the best band of all time. Like we're gonna get into this obviously, but albums 2 through 5 that they put out, like it is mind-boggling that any band could have a 4-album stretch like that, and like really sitting there and putting them side by side to the Metallica albums. It's like I think Slayer's a better band than Metallica.
I agree.
You know what? I think everybody that listens to this is gonna agree. I mean, Metallica, they are like they're commercially available. They
sold
appeal to
out.
the masses.
No,
they appeal to the masses.
They're the biggest metal band.
But
Slayer's
the best,
obviously not
the best.
biggest, but yeah,
Those
Slayer's the best.
what was it? 2 through 5.
2 through
was-
5.
They were ridiculous.
Let's get into it. So we're gonna start with the album that started it all, which is going to be Show No Mercy. Razor, kick it off. Tell me what you thought about Show No Mercy, because I feel like you probably haven't really listened to that album before going
I
into
have
this.
not. I have not. And you know what? I Show No Mercy. I was listening to it at work while we were doing. So we've said this before. We sell cars and we have to move the lot. So we were moving the lot, and you don't need to talk to anybody too much. You just take direction. So I was listening to Show No Mercy, and I don't know if it was because I was in a bad mood already, but I actually wrote it down. I said this is what I wrote down as I was listening to it. I said Slayer invokes a visceral reaction of anger and slight anxiety when not in a good mood. I'm like, maybe it's the speed, squeals, or production, but Show No Mercy, fucking, it put me in this like mindset that I was like, what the fuck is happening? So it doesn't have the greatest production, but for that reason, I'm gonna give it you know, let's just say 7.5.
All right, so do me a
It's very
favor.
garagey production.
Do me a
Yeah,
favor
yeah.
and put up the ghetto freaking
The
tier
ghetto
list.
list.
Yeah, the ghetto tier list.
Let's see. Give me 1 second. We're getting it
Oh,
up.
sorry, we're just a
Dude.
bunch of cavemen just trying to.
This is actually my first time doing this. Here we go. All right.
All right, so we got 5 tiers. Obviously, the best tiers. Those are the best ones, and so forth. Brad, let's. What's your take on Show No Mercy?
Show No Mercy is, I mean, it's a good album. It's kind of just like an introductory to Slayer. You definitely don't feel like it's a Slayer album if you've listened to all their other stuff because it just doesn't sound like Slayer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
You know what? I'm sorry to interrupt, but me and Al actually talked about that. And who did you say it sounded like, Al? Their
so
first album?
I think that album it shows like the building blocks of what Slayer becomes. You get like what they do in that album, but in that album they're not. I don't feel like they're trying to be themselves. It sounds like they're trying to be Venom.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Venom album kind of. But it's good nonetheless. And like you also kind of have to take in the time period and kind of what's going on in music around then.
what,
Uh,
1983?
yeah, so like it makes sense for what's going on, and I think it's good overall. It's not the best. That's why I put it as a B tier, which would be tier 3. That would be where I would put that album, where it's like I said, the building blocks are there, but it's just not refined yet.
I agree.
I totally agree.
With
All
the
right,
best song being Die by the Sword.
dude, I agree. That's my favorite track on that album. Go tier 3, Razor. And,
All
put
right,
Show
here we
No
go.
Mercy.
You guys are gonna see how slow of a typer I am. Oh, here we
Forgive
go.
Razor, he can't spell either.
Yeah, it's all good though.
Shit.
We like metal, so that
Why won't
tells
it?
you.
Hold on. I gotta take off this fucking. There we go.
You know what the good news is like we listen to metal, so that tells you how smart we are.
We're actually very intelligent.
All right.
All right,
Show
so
No Mercy
now
is on the board.
we're gonna move on, and we're gonna go to the second album. We're gonna go to Hell Awaits. Brad, take it away with Hell Awaits.
When we were doing the listening to all these albums, I started off Hell Awaits, and I immediately sent in our MGMH group chat. I said, Hell Awaits has the best marching riff of all time, and there is no comparison. I used to think it was Expendable Youth, but after re-listening to this album, it is 100% Hell Awaits. And I just wanted to act like I was in the army. I've never wanted to be in the army a day in my life until then.
Oh man, and I'm gonna like say this is a straight tier 1 album. This is the first album where you hear the Slayer sound, uh, and dude, it's just so good. It's so evil. Um, it's a long album too, but like it doesn't feel long, especially because it's only like 7 or 8. I think it's 7 tracks.
Yeah.
So it's like long, but like you don't get bored listening to it. You like going through the journey of it.
I feel like they
Yeah.
really got their flow with this album. They really
Yeah,
learned how to tie songs together well on the record.
agreed. Give me your take on this album, Razor.
So you know what? I agree 100% that it's like the first time you hear the Slayer sound, and you know what? With the Slayer sound, on that second album, the production it got better, but it's not like the best, which I think goes perfectly with it. It's it like that you know that type of production goes really
Yeah,
well with that sound. So
it's
I
refined. It's
totally agree.
cleaner.
It's it's a lot cleaner of a sound.
All right, go ahead. Put that in tier one. I know we lost Brad. We'll get him back though. That's undoubtedly a tier one album, and I'd go as far as saying that's probably my number two Slayer album. As far as all of them, when I listened to it, I was like, this is my number two.
All right, so Hell Awaits.
Hell Awaits, our first A tier, or sorry, S tier, but we're going one tier. Tier one.
Hell yeah. I
All
totally
right.
agree. It's a banger.
Now
And you know
we're
what?
gonna
I'm
move.
sorry. Actually, let me just tack
Yeah,
on
go
that.
ahead.
It was actually my first time listening to that album through and
You've
through,
never listened to Hell
through and
Awaits?
through. Yeah, through and through. So I was like, I've listened to songs off of it, but after listening to it as a whole, it flows so perfectly, and it's super evil, like you said.
Absolutely. Click Brad in, Razor.
Oh, my bad.
All right,
Sorry,
Brad.
I
No
received a
worries.
phone call and threw everything off. I
No
heard what
worries.
Razor said, and Razor hell awaits you for not listening to that front to back, you son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
crazy. We're gonna move on to the album that I think, in general, people would say is Slayer's best album.
I agree.
Which I get why you would say that. It's a fucking excellent album. That is Rain and Blood. It's the album Slayer people know Slayer for. I think with good reason too. Like it's a hell of, I mean, dude, the freaking album opens with Angel of Death.
Yeah, that's
Like, what a freaking punch to the mouth, man.
It's ridiculous.
And obviously, Raining Blood's on the album. Like, their biggest songs are on the album. And it's songwriting, everything about this album is like, I think you could make a case for this album in general being pound for pound the best metal album. Uh, that, that's how I feel on it. Razor,
It's definitely,
what's up with Rain and Blood?
you know what? Rain and Blood has some of the most iconic metal songs of all time, in my opinion. And the way that this album, like when you play it front to back, it's meant to be played as like a piece. I feel like, you can listen to the individual songs; they're great, but the way it flows and the way it's put together and how things lead into each other, I mean, it's hard to top something like this. You know what? You see why so many bands are influenced by Slayer, especially listen to this.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, this album has, I think, Slayer's best back-to-back songs live when they play Postmortem, then Raining Blood. I mean,
you got to listen to them back to back. I mean, that's why Liquid Metal does it. Those two songs are. I don't listen to Raining Blood without listening to freaking
Postmortem.
Postmortem.
I agree.
I don't do it.
And
So
you know
I
what? There's that's even better in my opinion. Well, it's not better. It's of course probably the influence of Slave to the Scalpel to Toe Rope Around the Throat. You know what I mean?
yeah
Like
yeah.
it's the way that flows together and it's done. And
It-
we've talked about how amazing that those
Yeah.
songs are.
Dude, it's just
It's
Just
it's
like
on
just
Billy
that
No
level.
Mates Counting Worms.
what with
Yeah, exactly.
with Slayer, like the fact that so many of their iconic riffs is just them playing an open string and freaking, palm muting it, like it's crazy, man. So we could firmly put Rain and Blood in tier one. I mean,
Let's do that.
that's
No, that's a
just
given.
There it is.
all right. Next album,
Nope, I did it right. All right.
we've
Almost
got
said something bad, but we're good.
we've got South of Heaven.
Man,
We're gonna go, Brad. Me and you both have this flag behind us right now. Logan, what's up with South of Heaven?
South of Heaven, the song South of Heaven, the album South of Heaven is actually what made me fall in love with Slayer. That was the turning point I needed with Slayer. Initially, I think we've had this conversation before, but I was a Slayer hater. When I was younger, I didn't really fuck with Slayer. And what a young, dumb son of a bitch, huh?
Hey, I feel you, brother. I
But
feel
I'm
you.
not the only one.
It's hard to
I
get
recently
into.
heard, what was it? Stephen Bull didn't fuck
Yeah,
with Slayer.
Steve on Garza said, and in our show, he also said that he didn't like Slayer, but then he went and he saw them live, and now Slayer is one of his favorite bands. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, they might be my favorite band of all time.
dude,
I mean, who am I kidding? Aside from a couple sentimental values from different bands, this is my favorite band of all time. But I've actually had the best metal memory with Slayer. Seeing, and it was with Al. Razor
yep.
unfortunately decided to skip the show, but it was
No, you're
watching
good.
Dead Skin Mask from the
Oh,
rafters of Bill Graham Civic Center.
crazy, man.
You know what's
Crazy.
funny? One of my my like clearest memories of a show is a Slayer concert. It wasn't even a Slayer concert. Where do we see them?
Aftershock.
After we saw them at Aftershock, and it was
Oh, when the fight broke out.
dude. It was like hell was unleashed on earth.
Yeah, Nazis
It
fighting.
was. They were two
Just a
giant.
brawl.
I think I have a
Giant
video of it,
fucking-
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. These two giant guys just fucking start going at it, throwing blows. One guy had a piece of his cheek ripped off. The other guy, his nose was smashed. It was absolutely ridiculous.
If you find that video, Brad, I'm gonna have Razor clip this while that clip is going on.
100%, I will. If you could find it, I will put it in.
I think it's in my Snapchat memories. I'll have to go look.
Right.
But yeah, sorry to go a little off topic there, but South of Heaven, the track South of Heaven, just a great album. Definitely the turning point for me in Slayer. I mean, I feel like everything is a tier 1, 2 through 5. That's my issue.
No,
100%.
that's 100%. That's fine though. This is coming from an incredible place of bias, so I don't even care. Razor, what's up with South of Heaven?
Dude, I mean, what else can I say? It's of course one of their most iconic albums, alongside Rain and Blood. It's just banger after banger on that album. You know, it flows really well. I would say the benchmark of like an evil album, you know? So
Yeah.
I mean, the
it's
album's called
fucking-
South of Heaven.
dude,
that's
like-
insane.
You might as well just call the album Hell.
Yeah. This is my favorite Slayer album, just because, like, playing fast is cool, but I'm a lover of slow and low mid tempo, and the fact that you have this album, like the album before, you have Angel of Death ripping your face off to start an album, and then this album is just so eerie and evil.
The first time I feel like it's the first time you hear that mid tempo.
No,
Slayer.
it's not the first time you hear it, but it's like them. It's the best of them doing it. That song in particular.
I feel like all the albums before that we've mentioned, they're a lot faster paced.
No, because like when Brad mentions like the marching type music, think about that. That's not playing super fast. Like
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's all in how they're picking. It's that whole thing. But this is undoubtedly tier 1 because, like I said, this is my favorite Slayer album. I can't listen to a song on this album. This is definitely one where like I'm listening to this whole album.
There we go. Tier 1.
Dude. And then obviously we're gonna add this next album to tier 1. Who are we kidding? Razor, we'll start with you. Seasons in the Abyss.
Oh man. So this is my personal favorite album. This is my I know, Rain and Blood is amazing and South of Heaven, Hell Awaits, they're all fucking great, but Seasons is my personal favorite. The just the way it's put, I can't say this enough. They the way they put their albums together, it's fucking ridiculous. And I feel like they were actually like, let me see, hold on. There we go. That's what I was thinking. So War Ensemble starting it
That's
off.
how, yeah. Another punch to the
That's
gut.
what I was trying to think of. War Ensemble starting it off, straight into Blood Red, and then just everything else.
Man,
Expendable
Blood Red
Youth.
is one of my favorite fucking
You got-
Slayer songs.
You've got
Expendable
Expendable Youth. You've got Dead Skin Mask, which is, it's between that and South of Heaven for being the most, the most like evil Slayer song in my opinion, and I think it's the most. And yeah, Skeletons of Society, where it's
Seasons in the Abyss.
Yeah, completely different. It changes paces so many times.
Yeah.
And when you listen to it, it's It's a 42-minute album, which at this point it's their longest album. And yeah, dude, it went by so fast. I didn't want to skip a single song.
Undoubtedly, I agree. Freaking Seasons of the Abyss. You mentioned it.
Have taken my soul.
Like, dude, it's all in their songwriting. You're right. Their sequencing, especially this album. You have the barn burners, but you do have the more mid tempo stuff, and like even Seasons of the Abyss, how they end that song with the title, or sorry, that album with the title track. I think that's like a cool little thing that they did, and that's the closest thing I feel like you're going to get out of Slayer, like with a ballad. That's the closest thing you're gonna get.
Yeah, and you know what? If you think about all the great tracks that are on that album, they end it with Seasons, and it doesn't like fall flat. It hits just as hard as everything else in the album. So
You're right. That is the closest
that's my
thing to a
favorite.
ballad of Slayer, because it's like close your eyes, look deep in your soul.
Yeah.
It's like,
not like very hard, so to speak.
No,
you know what I mean?
but it's eerie. It's got that like
for the
dark
ears for people that aren't Slayer fans.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So put that in tier 1, Razor. That is Seasons of the Abyss.
So does Tom do cleans in this song in Seasons?
Yeah,
because they're cleans, right? It's the first time we hear Tom do his cleans.
No, he does cleans. He does. I think in like it's more he more like talks than does like actual cleans.
I mean, it's not like he's doing lows,
It's like bark,
but he's
like,
doing,
it's your typical thrash metal vocals, like
Yeah, that makes
he's kind of just like screaming, but not like highs, not like a Mitch Lucker high, but
yeah,
just yelling into the mic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just yelling into a mic with cadence. Now we move on. This is where maybe the golden era. This is where it kind of it turns into something else because it's a new era of music. The music's changing at this time. This is when grunge is starting to get big. So this is Slayer's Divine Intervention album. Brad, we'll start with you.
I think me and you talked about this, Al, as the first like 3 to 4 tracks. It is really fucking good.
I have the first 5.
First 5? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say first 5 for the people. First 5 tracks, fucking solid. Sounds like Slayer. A little different. They're kind of opening up that new realm, and then it just fucking tidal waves just falls over on its face.
I agree. It's a good album. I like how this album has like a dirtier production than, because even though they're like really, they're playing really fast and what, they have really good production in those previous four albums. And I think that this is where they maybe like intentionally go to uh a purposefully slightly worse production, and it has like a very death metal production, I would say.
Yeah.
So I think like that's what makes the first five tracks good, is it's like actual like Slayer songs but with death metal production. And then it kind of just, it feels like filler at the end. It's not necessarily bad, but it's not like, it's definitely stuff that I don't go back to very often. I like the
Yeah.
album. uh so because of that, the first five being so solid, I put that in my B tier, which would be 3, because it's kind of, I would put it as the same as Show No Mercy, being an equal, so to speak. What do you think, Razor?
You know what? I
think it's
agree. So
4.
I would say it's a 3 tier, like Show No Mercy. The first 5 songs, you're right. The first 5 are fucking tremendous. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that the rest is almost filler. You
Yeah.
know, like it's, and I don't know how what year did this come out? 94, before I was born. So I don't know how CDs or I don't know what was going on, but
It's
Probably
they
10
grunge.
tracks.
changed. Yeah, they changed like the flow and the cadence a lot on this one.
Yeah, they had to
Which I mean,
do
it's I'm
different,
always
something different.
yeah, I'm always for down for a band to do something different, but this one didn't hit the ears as good as the last couple.
Yeah, dude, I listen to Divine Intervention, that freaking title track, regularly. That's one of my
Oh,
favorite
it's a
Slayer
great song.
tracks.
Yeah,
Well, let's put it in tier 3. We could bump it
let's
if
do
we
that.
need to.
Let's do that. The only reason I know how to spell intervention is because on Call of Duty, right?
I thought that's what math class you were in.
I don't think you guys listen to this one, so I'm gonna put this in tier 4. This is Undisputed Attitude. It's like I would say similar to like Metallica's Garage Inc. album, where it's covers, and it's like all punk covers. This is coming from a place of bias where like punk's not my real big thing. So
Yeah.
because of that, it was kind of like, it's cool, but like it's not for me. So that's
I'm
why
not
I'd
even gonna
tier
lie, I
for
didn't even
that.
spin this shit when I found out it was all covers.
You know what? I'm with Brad. Unfortunately, I didn't
That's
listen to this one because I saw that it was covers. So
Look,
I want
you know
to.
what? Because you guys didn't even listen to it, that means we could just bring that to a tier 5. Because
All right, there it is.
Not worth my valuable time, sir.
dude, you know what? Go ahead and just make a 6th tier and just put this one there.
Oh, I just
You
messed something up.
you messed up, but it's okay. We could just get started into the
There we
next
go.
release. And that next release, man, this is gonna irk some people. We got Diabolus in music, freaking otherwise known as Slayer's new metal album. Razor, take me away.
All right, Diabolus. It has one of the songs that got me into metal. It has Stain of Mind. Stain of Mind. Now, look, that is my song right there, my Slayer song. As much as I hate to say it, it's got a special place. It got me into metal. But other than that, I mean, it was very, very flat. Very flat. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, like, I think I was listening to this one um at work, and I just completely glazed over most of the album. So I don't have the greatest attention span, so take it as you want.
What's up, Brad? What do you think about De Ballis and Musica?
I'm kind of with Razor on this one. You know, my attention span is really low when this album is playing. "Stain of Mine" is the best song on the track or on the record, but other than that, it's definitely a step in the wrong direction for Slayer. But they learned how to pick it back up after this.
Dude, it's not bad. I'm not gonna lie. I like new metal, so that's why I'm not even like I don't
I,
hate it.
I like
But
new metal too, but it's not like
it's not their best. It's not their best, definitely. So I would go ahead. I'd put it in like tier 4.
I agree. I could do tier 4 because Stain of Mine saved it.
Yeah, it's not like it's what they say. Couple tracks. That's how you feel. I think any album that's got a couple tracks deserves to get a C.
There we go. Just fixing this a
Poor
little
poor
bit.
Razor.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. So what are we doing? Tier 4?
Tier 4. That's what we're doing.
All right, there we go.
All right. Now we have an album that came out on September 11th, 2001. A day forever remembered in American history. And the reason that this will always remember 9/11 is because Slayer released "God Hates Us All." Um, oh man,
I agree. That's the most memorable thing on that day.
dude, I don't care what anybody said. I love "God Hates Us All." This is definitely an album that, like, I would say I got into Slayer like more through "God Hates Us All" than like Rain in Blood or anything like that, just because of the pure edginess of it. Uh, like, you see the album cover, you see the 4 fucking crosses, you're just like, dude, this is some evil shit. Like, I'm like 16, 17 at the time, and then you listen to the opening track and it's for "God Hates Us All." Like,
Well, that they go back to their formula, and they have the darkness of Christ, which is the intro. That very
yeah,
melodic, very eerie, straight into Disciple,
dude.
which
And
is fucking ridiculous.
Disciple.
I would definitely tier 2 this myself,
Tier
just
two, I
because
agree.
my one of my favorite Slayer songs on this album, "Bloodline," which was
Bloodline.
made for the soundtrack of Dracula 2000. I think this is a sick album. Like I said, this is just a big album, like, in my metal journey. So there's definitely bias there. Razor, give me your take on "God Hates Us All"?
Dude, God hates us. That intro up here we go. I got to figure out how to do this. But the intro to it, like I said, is fucking great.
Dude.
I'm not gonna be able to fucking figure this out. Let me talk about this real quick. So yeah, God hates us all. It was fucking you're right. It's edgy, because I think I was listening to this one on the plane. And I was reading no, I read the lyrics in the airport, and I was like, Jesus, they're fucking going for it on this one. And then they also have Bloodline on this one, which is a
Yeah.
fucking fantastic album. So
Here Comes the
I agree with
Pain.
you. Yeah, Here Comes the Pain. I'm gonna agree with you on the it being a tier 2. If I could figure out how to do a tier 2 here. There we
Well,
go.
your numbers are a little messed. Oh, okay, there you go. You're good. Don't even worry. Don't mind me, Brad. I'm gonna go straight to you on 2006's Christ Illusion. Can you check something for me real quick before anything? Can you
Yeah.
see? Because this came out in 2006. Did this come out on 666? Did I miss that? If they did, they're fucking the best guys
I
on
have it
earth.
right here. Let me see. Christ Illusion was put out January 1st, 2006.
All right.
Hell yeah,
Well,
on my birthday.
all right. Well, all right. That not as cool,
No, no,
but
no, no.
still.
It was
I'll
released
go off
August
on
8th.
this. August 8th. Okay.
Christ
Uh,
Illusion. Oh, I might be talking about. My bad.
so I'll kick this one off. Uh, this is definitely a couple tracks album for me.
100%.
A lot to
Those
just
couple
kind of
tracks,
glaze
bro.
over. Colt, bro,
Colt.
dude, talk about like edginess. That's a fun freaking song.
I
Like
love that song.
fun edge lord song. Uh, Jihad, dude. There's some tracks on this. So because there's some tracks, it's definitely a tier 3 for me. Just because there is some, there's some filler in there, but Brad, what's Christ Illusion for you?
Christ, that's pretty much the same as what you just said. It's a couple tracks, but those couple tracks to me are fucking. I mean, Jihad and fucking Colt, bro. Like,
Dude, I
don't be
remember
down.
showing you Colt. Like we're just driving, and it's because it's so edgy. Fuck, religion is beer, religion is hate, religion is a whole. I remember seeing like the look on your face, like, yeah, this is some shit right here.
Don't be around me if Slayer ever comes back and those songs are playing.
I
Dude,
agree.
The song Jihad, I always remember this metal takeover with Randy Bly. He goes, "Yeah, I used to sit side stage with and see Jeff Hanneman play this song every night, man." It just has that fucking value to it.
Razor, what's your take on Christ Illusion?
Well, to be completely honest, I was on a plane sleeping while this was playing. but it there are a couple tracks on it. I was re-looking at it. I fucking love Jihad. Jihad's a fucking banger. Colt is ridiculous. Yeah, I agree it's a tier 3. There's some great tracks on it, and for the sheer fact of it coming out in 06 for 666, I'm gonna go with tier 3.
So now we've got World Painted Blood. Kick it off, Razor. How'd you feel about World Painted
All
Blood?
right, well, let's see. World Painted Blood. I actually, so this is where it's not fair, because these last two albums, World Painted Blood and Christ Illusion, I actually listened to this one on the way to the stadium to the Raider game. Shout out the Vegas Raiders.
Fucking Slayer.
And it was good from what I remember. I had it in my ear while people were trying to talk to me, so I can't say I have like a definitive place on the chart here, but I do remember banging my head in the Uber.
All I know
Brad,
is this album has one of their best songs live. Fucking, I'll stab you right between the eyes
yep.
and spread
That
a
is a
little
fantastic
hate.
Hate Worldwide. That is a good song live.
But other than that, World Pain and Blood and Hate Worldwide, I mean, it's just a couple tracks.
Dude,
I mean,
I'm gonna say this is my least favorite Slayer album.
yeah, I
Dude,
can agree with that.
I'm gonna put this. I would put this in tier 5 because even yeah, I'll stab you right between the eyes. That's fucking cool live, but it fell flat on for me, definitely after
Oh yeah, the album has not aged well whatsoever.
yeah, it's just I think this is a filler album because even the title track and Hate Worldwide and I think Paybacks in the song, it's just kind of out of
And
all their stuff.
Where was Christ Illusion one more time so I can fill it in?
Christ Illusion was
tier
tier 3,
four?
yeah, tier 3.
All right, let's go.
Now we end it with Slayer's final album, and Slayer's final album is a made up word, but it's a very Slayer word. Repentless.
Very Slayer.
Razor, take me home with Repentless. What's your take on Repentless?
Dude, Repentless, I feel like is Slayer going back to their roots. You know, like you get the eerie feel, the fucking like the evil shit. There's some great songs on it. It starts off fucking awesome with Delusions of Our Savior or Delusions of Savior.
Yep.
Um, yeah, they've got the whole, and maybe it's recency bias because when I was really getting into metal, I was listening to this a lot, so I know just about every song on here. So with this one, I mean, it's definitely either tier 1 or tier 2. You know, I don't know how people feel about this album, but I thought it was fucking great.
Brad, what do you think?
I mean, I'm kind of with Razor on this one. This is album came out towards my ascending of my metal journey, and I could probably name you more songs on this album than most albums of Slayer.
We
And I
listen to
know
this
the
so
lyrics.
much. Yeah.
And then there's just a couple tracks on here that I fuck with heavy. One of them being "Chasing Death."
Oh
Uh,
man.
Fucking hard ass song.
Dude, I love like Tom. He has these great vocal patterns, and one of my favorite ones is the fucking. I know you should have seen it all coming, but I had to find it out on my own.
oh yeah,
Yeah. The
Just
cadence of that song
barking,
is
bro.
fucking great.
cast the first stone,
Dude,
stand in my way.
What about
I
When the
put this.
Stillness Comes?
I
Oh
That
put
yeah,
this
riff.
in tier two just because like it's not
it's not tier
the
one, but it's
best.
not tier
Yeah,
three.
yeah,
I
It's
agreed.
tier
agree.
It's
two.
it is a very fun album, and one of my favorite songs on that album is definitely Pride and Prejudice. And I think that's such a cool song to end the journey, the Slayer journey, where it's funny that me and Razor I touched on this with Razor where like, you know, in like a life of like people getting canceled, say like Phil and Samo and even Dimebag fucking being dead, people shit on him. Like Slayer wrote songs about Nazis. Hanneman had guitars that like Nazi general names on it. But dude, Tom Araya, like you're gonna call Tom Araya or Dave Lombardo a Nazi? Hell no.
Hell
No,
no.
Hell
Tom's
no.
Chilean.
Dude, I like I said, dude, Slayer is probably like I think they're the best metal band of all time. Uh and it was just fun going back down memory lane. It definitely makes me miss them. I loved seeing Slayer live. Me and you, Brad, we took. I know, other than that final tour, which I regret not going to, we took every chance that we could get to see Slayer.
How many times did we see him? Like five?
Like 5 or 6 times in a very like not in a lot of
In a
years.
3-year period?
Because I think 2018 was the last year. So from like 2014 to 2018, we're just any chance we could get to see Slayer, we're gonna see them.
I think the best Slayer show we saw was at the Bill Graham.
Dude, I agree.
That was Behemoth Lamb of God Slayer.
Yeah, they always had a good tour of like good bands. I like, dude, I have so many Slayer shirts. I have a fucking Slayer flag behind me. I have a Kerry King, BC Rich. Like, come
That's the
on,
fucking band.
come on, dude.
They are, man. Slayer's just, I don't even know where to begin and where to end.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, if you want, it's funny because they're a band where most people, I think you could agree, they're either gonna love them right away, and that's gonna be their into metal, or one day they're gonna get into metal and they're gonna circle around and they're gonna hear the Slayer track that they need to hear that gets them through the door, and
Yeah.
then you're hooked, dude. You're like, this is crazy.
Yeah, no, it's
I
great.
couldn't agree more.
It's funny because I have the Funko Pops in my office, and thanks to Al got me the Funko Pops, and everyone always asks, "Oh, is that Metallica?" I'm like, "Nah, that's fucking Slayer."
Dude, do you still have that pendant that you put in your car? Yeah.
Hell yeah! I
That's
took
what
it
I'm
down
talking
from the
about.
mirror, but it's on my shifter.
There you go. All right,
Yeah, dude, that'll
that's
be
what I
with
like
me
to hear.
forever, bro.
Hell yeah.
I have the
That's
Slayer pendant. I got the. I'm such a jack. In my office on my cabinet, I printed out a fucking Slayer thing on a laser printer and fucking taped it on the inside of my cabinet.
I need if anybody's watching this, help me find a nice Slayer hat. A freaking I need a Slayer hat. That's not like a Kyle hat. So
I know I have the Kyle version.
let me know if there are any cool Slayer dad hats out there, because your boy needs a Slayer dad hat for sure.
Fucking A.
Well, that was it. We'll probably. I think we should try to do this again with other bands. Sometimes it's fun checking out. The discography. Maybe we'll do like Dying Fetus next or something, because they have an
Oh, dude,
album
I'm
coming
so
out
down.
soon. I just want to shout out some shit that I've been jamming that's like pretty recent releases. Uh, and then I want to plug again, Banging in the Rock. Buy your early bird tickets. Prices are going up when the fucking second installment of this festival gets announced. That's coming September 1st. Buy your fucking tickets. Support Little Rock, Arkansas. They got some good shit going on. A band that I'm really excited that's going to be there. I've been fucking with their album so much. That is Outer Heaven. The album is Infinite Psychic Depths. It's freaking like early Gojira mixed with Blood Incantation. I love all Gojira, even more modern Gojira. And I fucking love Blood Incantation. So both of them together is just a really fun vibe. Um,
Hell yeah.
if you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out. This is an EP. It's called 10 to the Chest. That's the artist. And the EP is called Split the Fuck Open.
Yes, dude.
Dude,
10 to the chest.
some of the
Oh my
most
god, that's my fucking band right there.
some of the most ignorant music of the year. Devin from Sanguisugabog is featured on a track. It is just like white knuckle, freaking knuckle dragging, pissed off, dummy music. Listen to 10 to the Chest, Split the Fuck Open. Dead Heat, their EP, Endless Torment. So fun. One of like I think more fun releases of the year. Very power trippy, very enforced. That kind of like crossover thrash. They're from Oxnard, California. I'm really digging that. Definitely worth checking out. And the last thing I'll leave you with is a straight freaking 17 minutes of Fury hardcore record. It is 818 hardcore. If I'm not mistaken, maybe didn't produce, but for sure mixed and mastered. Maybe produced. I'd have to check. Taylor Young. The band is called Human Garbage, and the name of the album is Straight Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah. That was fucking, it was fun. It was badass. It was like fast, that was a great release right there.
The album opens with a 50 Cent uh what's it called, sample. Like if you know, you know. It's sick, man. Brad, I don't know if you've listened to anything recent, but what's been on the Brad radar when you're listening to some heavy shit or not heavy shit?
Absolutely. I mean, you can count on me not to be the guy to find new music and let the new music find me. But I've been listening to some Dying Fetus, the new EP. Excited for that new album coming out.
Yeah.
It's not an
Uh,
EP. It's just all
or
the
singles.
singles. But yeah, I
It
know
feels
what
like
you
an
mean.
EP.
No, but Spotify does have it listed as an EP, so I know where you got that from.
Gotcha. But yeah, I've been listening to that, and I'm always spinning Fugitive, bro. I can't wait to see Fugitive live, bro. It's one of my favorite bands.
They
Best
dropped two
bro.
tracks too, and
Yeah, they just
very
released
fun.
new tracks. Um, Man, just really good stuff coming from the boys from Texas. Always spinning some old shit. Bog 200. You know,
Hell yeah.
Hey, dude.
I don't beat off the beaten path too hard.
No, hey, you know what? That's how it goes
That's what I have you guys
sometimes.
for.
Yeah, yeah. We send you what needs to be listened to. Razor, what's some shit you've been fucking with lately other than Slayer?
You know what? You said one of them. That's 10 to the chest. 10 to the chest, new album or EP.
EP, yeah.
EP. It is fucking ridiculous. The last band I want to last and not least band that I want to plug is my bad. I just had like 4 beers. I'm burping it all up. Is Crocophile.
Oh yeah.
Is this band Crocophile, and I love a fucking gimmicky band with, they don't take themselves too seriously. And this is like very good slam that's based around fucking Godzilla. It's great. It's amazing. So I have to shout them out. Oh, one more actually. That is in human conditions.
Oh yeah, that Godzilla cover, dude.
Their release was great, and they covered the song Godzilla. It's the best fucking cover I heard. I listened to all the covers on Spotify. By far the best.
Godzilla.
I love it. I love it. Shout out to God's Hate. I got like the best merch of all time, the fucking God's Hate shorts and this shirt that's printed on Comfort Colors. If your shirt is not on Comfort Colors, I'm not enough of a snob to not get your shirt. But man,
it makes a difference.
If I gotta pay a couple dollars extra for the Comfort Colors, I'll do it. Just so you know.
Hey, Comfort Colors is big boy friendly, by the way, for all the bands out there.
You know, not everyone's a small guy, spin kicking, freaking hurting people in the pit. So, we got some big boys out there too. So
hell yeah.
You got to help the X's. Well, that is freaking episode 51. We'll freaking get some guests on here and have a good time and freaking be our high selves and, not break edge like Brad.
Hell yeah.
Brad X.
Hey, and then, go ahead, like and subscribe if you made it this far, and tell us your fucking favorite Slayer album. Tell us what you think we got right, what the fuck you think we got wrong.
What's
leave it in the comments.
mgmhpod@gmail.com.
mgmhpod@gmail.com. You want to tell us
leave
that
it in
we
the
don't,
comments. Whatever you want to do.
We have to get questions.
and we're just to let you know too, like we're incredibly biased with this Slayer thing. So tell us where we're wrong. I'm interested in hearing it because I'm biased, but
100%.
I'll listen even if I don't agree. It's all good in the hood. People like baby metal. I don't hate.
It's true. Hell yeah.
Some people like 60-minute doom metal too.
Hey, dude, I listened to a Bell Witch album this year. One song, an hour and 23 minutes long. Fucking sick.
To each their own, everybody. To each.
Hey, that's one thing I used to hate on Death Doom. Now Razor knows I love Death Doom, dude.
That's all you can play. That's why.
That's all I can fucking play. Like, dude, I've been listening to an ungodly amount of I Hate God because I'm just like, well, I can play slow like this. Let's go. All right, that's it. Fucking buy tickets, bang into the rock. Fucking subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Hell yeah. I will see
Slayer.
y'all next week.
All right.
Later.